Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video on my channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at some Fuzion products, and these are the summer paints that Fuzion released, I'm going to say about a month ago. So if you haven't seen these yet or want to know what I think of these paints, just keep on watching. Okay, so the first collection we're going to take a look at is called Bright and Summery. So these are colors that are bright and summery, I think. But let's take a look at the first one, which is orange number 103. And this is just a simple bright orange. I really like the consistency of Fuzion paints. They are a thinner viscosity. They go on really nicely. If I'm doing a full coverage with the Fuzion paints, I will put on 2 layers and cure for 1 minute in between each layer. Now, you don't have to. If you put this on smooth enough, you can get away with 1 layer. And Fuzion paints have the top coat built right into them, so it's really a great product for doing artwork. So on to the color here. This is just your typical orange. I would say this is like a popsicle orange, and it's nicely pigmented. One coat just didn't cover it as nicely as I would have liked it to, so I did put 2 thin layers on, and I apologize, it is a little out of focus here. So I cured each layer for 1 minute in my LED lamp, and it is so smooth. You do not need a top coat on here. Okay, let's do some color comparisons. Oh sure, now it goes in focus. Magic Gel's Orange Nectar is a little bit more peachy. I'm not too sure how many oranges I have that might compare. You know what? I don't have anything that would compare to Orange 103. So let's move on to Orange 104, just like a soft peach color. This would be like a pastel orange, maybe a little darker than a pastel orange. Look how nicely it goes on that swatch stick. It's just dreamy. So this color is quite pigmented. You could get away with doing 1 layer of color if you were doing a full coverage now. So let's talk about the viscosity of these Fuzion paints. I would say it is a medium to thin viscosity, probably more so on the thin side, but it's not runny or watery. I would say it's a little bit thinner than the Light Elegance buttercreams, and compared to Magic Gel paints, almost the same. Almost. I would say it is, I don't know if I would say that the paints are thinner or thicker than the Magic Gel. It is so close. It is close. Okay, let's see what kind of colors I have that may be similar. P Plus Orange Crush. It's a glitter, and no, it doesn't compare. Salmon Peach from Magic Gel doesn't compare. A little bit lighter. I'm not too sure I have anything quite like that. I don't. So let's move on to the next color, and it's Yellow 106. And this is what Yellow 106 looks like. I would say this is a medium yellow. It's not a neon. Yeah, I would call this a primary yellow, you know, like the primary colors. Now, as I'm swatching this is a little see-through. So this one, if I was putting it on as a full coverage nail color, right? That makes sense. I would do 2 layers with this one. But it self-levels really nicely, and you don't get that shadowing after the second layer if you were to put this on the whole nail. And again, this is a great color for art. I'm thinking I love to do Winnie the Pooh with a Santa Claus hat. This would be a great yellow for that. So this is one last look at Yellow 106, and I think they number these to fit in between their other paints that they have. These are the only ones that I do have, so I can't compare them with anything else that Fuzion has. But let's see what I have that might compare. Juicy Lucy from Magpie is a little bit more highlighter yellow. And I have Lemonade by En Vogue, which is super similar. And as you can tell, I put Lemonade on too thick, so it wrinkled. Star Spark by Magic Gel doesn't compare. Buttercup is a little bit more muted. Yellow Jacket by Light Elegance, that's a little bit lighter. And then Sun Kissed by Magic is more of a mustard yellow. And Hear Me Roar is more of a mustard yellow, and I think that's it. So let's take a look at coral number 107. This is a really pretty coral color. This is coral. This is like a medium to light coral. I think more on the medium side. It goes on really, really nice. It's very pigmented, so there's not a whole lot of shadowing with this color. This would be great on the toes because with that built-in top coat, you could put this on in one coat and your pedicure is done. At least when you're doing your own feet, like for me, when I do my own feet, when your knee is up into your ear, that's not very comfortable and you want to get that pedicure done quickly. This is a great product for pedicures. And I also find that even though this is a thinner viscosity gel, it doesn't run into the sidewalls or into the cuticle unless you bump yourself and your brush goes into the cuticle, but it doesn't run, so it's not that watery thin viscosity. And this is after 2 thin layers. This is so gorgeous. I love this color. Okay, let's do some color comparisons. So the first one I want to show you is from Light Elegance, Don't Be Such a Pansy. That's a little bit darker. Ugly Duckling Gel Polish 175 is also darker. Let's Get Together from Ellie is also darker, and that's all I have to compare with it. So on to Blue 111, and this is like a medium blue, and I would say that this has almost got a gray undertone to it. So it's not a bright blue or a primary blue. I would say this is a muted blue. And you could get away with 1 layer of color. It's very, very pigmented. But to be consistent, I will put a 2nd layer on so you get a good feel for the color and the product itself. Yeah, I'm liking these paints. They're very creamy and very easy to work with. And you guys know that I love products that are easy to work with and you don't struggle with them. I would say Paintz happens to be one of those products that I don't struggle with. So this is what Blue 111 looks like on my skin tone. I don't know if I would wear this on all 10 nails, but definitely a great color for art. So let's compare this to Ugly Duckling Color Gel number 20. That's a little bit lighter. We have Magpie Beauty Blue Sky. That's like a sky blue. En Vogue Splish Splash, their Lacquer line. That doesn't compare. Ellie's Mermaid in the Shade doesn't compare, but I wanted you to see what it was like next to each other. Number 37, the Gel Polish from Ugly Duckling. That's almost identical. Okay, let's move on to Pink 112. And this is a gorgeous bright pink. I don't think this is a neon pink, but I could be wrong. It is quite bright, but I'm just not convinced it is as bright as a neon pink would be. I'm also seeing that there's some blue undertones to this pink, which I kind of like the cooler toned pinks. And there's a lot of pigment in this color as well, so it's going on quite opaque. And the 2nd coat, just to be consistent, it self levels really nice. It covers really nice. If you find that a color in the Paintz line is a little see-through, put that 2nd layer on and you get a really nice opaque coverage. Look at this. This is gorgeous and a great color for a lighter skin tone. I think this would look great on all skin tones. Okay, let's see what this compares to in my color collection. We have Beautiful and Bold Buttercream. That's a little bit more pink. Ugly Duckling number 169. That's a little bit lighter. Light Elegance P Plus True Love is lighter. It's more pink. Fuchsia Fantasy is, I think that one's a little bit lighter because of the shimmer. Okay, so here's the 6 colors we just swatched from the Bright and Summery collection. So we have a nice pink, a blue, a coral yellow, and a couple of oranges. I would say there's more like 3 oranges in this collection. But these are definitely nice, happy, summery type colors. Okay, let's move on to the next collection, which is called Soft and Subtle. Now these are a lot of neutral type colors. So let's take a look at these 6 colors and see what we think about them. The first one is White 102, and White 102 is like a creamy pearl color. I would say this is like a pearly, I wouldn't call this a white, I'd call this more of a cream color because it's got that pearlized component to it. And to me, pearls are more of a cream color than a true white. So this goes on quite sheer. I did use this on a client for a base color, and after putting 2 coats on, I just didn't get the look I was wanting. So this would be great for those clients that just want that soft, subtle look and not a pearly white, but more of a pearl cream color, just something soft. This would look fantastic on a darker skin tone too. So as you can see with applying the second layer on, it is still quite sheer. And this is what white 102 looks like after I put 2 layers on this one. You can still see through this one. I am seeing some shadowing, but I think white 102 is supposed to be sheer, so you're not going to get a full opaque coverage with this color. Can you see that pink pearlized hue to this color? I can. It's right there. This one is pretty. It is a very unique kind of color, which is why I'm not doing any color comparisons, because I don't have anything to compare this to. So let's move on to neutral 105, and this is a really pretty purpley mauve kind of color. I love these kind of neutral mauve colors. It's not a pink, it's not a purple, it's not a neutral, it's just something in between all 3 of those. And I like the fact that these colors are great for when you just don't feel like wearing bright and bold colors on your nails. Hence the name of the collection, Soft and Subtle. So here I am putting on this second layer, and it's going on really, really nicely. A very thin layer, you don't want to bulk the nail out, and it's just a really stunning neutral mauve. Look at that, it goes really nice with a light skin tone too. So let's compare this to Light Elegance Buttercream Something Borrowed, which is a little bit lighter. I have 2 straws, 1 shake. In the P Plus formula doesn't really compare. Ballerina from En Vogue is too pink. And Charming Pink from Magic Gel is a lot lighter. What else do I have here? Sheer Veil from Magic Gel. That's a little bit lighter as well. Chaps and Spurs Buttercream is similar, but that one's a little bit lighter, but in the same family. And then P Plus Heirlooms is got more brown to it. P Plus Your Churn, that's a little bit deeper. And Frozen Grapes is a lot darker. Ugly Duckling Color Gel number 29 is more gray based. And that's it. So moving on to Neutral 106. And Neutral 106 looks like a really soft neutral pink. Maybe even like a light dusty rose color. This one is really pretty. It's very pigmented, so you could get away with putting it on in 1 layer. And I don't find there's much streaking with this color either, so I really like this one. And you really don't need to put a second coat on, but if you do, you only need a very little bit, and it goes on so nice and smooth, covers up the nail so nicely. Can you tell I like this? And it self-levels, and it's got a top coat in it, and it's just gorgeous. This color, even though it's a pale pinky mauve kind of color, it puts a smile on my face. And in comparison to Neutral 105, this is the difference between the two. So they're just a shade off. Okay, on to the color comparisons. Let's start with P Plus Heirlooms by Light Elegance. That doesn't compare. Chaps and Spurs is pretty close, but a little bit deeper. That's a buttercream from Light Elegance. And then we have Magic Gel Sheer Veil is a little bit more brown toned. Strawberries and Cream, a little bit lighter. And then we have En Vogue's Ballerina is also a little bit lighter. Something Borrowed, it's got a little bit more gray to it. 2 straws, 1 shake doesn't really compare, and that's all I have. So let's go on to Neutral 107. And this is what I would call a true taupe. I love taupe colors all year round. It's great for springtime, great for a base if you're doing artwork, great for any season actually. So this one is going on a little bit sheer, but once I put the second coat on, I think we're going to see that it's going to have an opaque coverage. And again, the viscosity is a thinner viscosity, but I want to say that it's pretty consistent. All of these paints have been really consistent in pigmentation and viscosity. I think Fuzion has really found its groove with the paints. And this is what Neutral 107 looks like after 2 thin layers. This is a great neutral color. This one should be a staple. Okay, let's do some comparisons. Melted Beige from Magic Gel doesn't really compare. Your Churn from Light Elegance is a tad darker. Mauve Mantra, that's even darker. Ugly Duckling Color Gel number 32 doesn't compare. Sheer Veil is a little bit lighter. Heirlooms from Light Elegance is also a tad bit lighter. Okay, let's move on to Neutral 108. And Neutral 108 is a shade darker than 107, and I think we're seeing a rainbow effect of these neutral colors. So not rainbow is in rainbow colors, but we're getting different shades of taupes and neutrals. And that makes this collection great if you are an artist that does face painting or character painting, anything like that. I think this collection would be amazing if you had that kind of talent. And this color is very pigmented as well. So 2 thin layers, an opaque coverage. If you wanted to do a full coverage nail, you wouldn't have to worry about shadowing or streaking. So this is a gorgeous color on a light skin tone. Even a darker skin tone, this color would look amazing on. Okay, let's compare this to Traditions from Light Elegance. Doesn't compare. Your Churn's got a little bit more purple to it. Magic Gel Frozen Grapes doesn't compare. Mauve Mantra Buttercream is a little bit darker. We have Ugly Duckling Color Gel number 32 and Fusion's Sugar and Spice. So the last one we're going to take a look at is Neutral 109, and this is a lighter beige. This is like a light cream. No, is this a cream or is it a beige? It's a neutral color. But regardless of what color it is, it's going on really nicely. It's an opaque color, and that surprises me because it's a light color, and you guys know how much I struggle with light colors. I think we all do. So after 2 thin layers, you get an opaque coverage. This is a great color. I think this would be a staple neutral to have in your collection. If you were only to get one color out of this collection, I would get this one. Okay, let's compare this last color. Let's start with Melted Beige, like I always like to start with. That doesn't compare. Ugly Duckling number 150 has got a gray undertone. At the Altar is a little bit more gray. Your Churn's more purple. Chaps and Spurs is more pink. Heirlooms is a little bit darker and got some brown tones to it. So here's the 6 colors all in a row. So a really nice, soft and subtle collection, hence the name, but great for those clients that just want something soft on their nails. And I like seeing these colors all lined up so we get a good look at what this collection looks like. So we've got a couple of shades of pinky purples, some taupes, a beige, and a cream. So let's recap the 2 collections. Let's start with the one on the left, the soft and subtle. I really like this collection. I think if you are a new nail tech just starting out and don't have very many colors in your collection, I think this would be a great one to start out with because you have different shades of neutrals that will go with every skin tone, and you can't go wrong with these, in my opinion. They went on really nice. They were opaque. They didn't streak or shadow. I love the fact that there's the top coat built into it. So if you're doing artwork on top of a finished nail, you don't have to put the top coat on if you don't want to. It's just a really gorgeous, I don't want to say basic collection, but a classic collection. That's a better word for it. It's classic and classy. The Bright and Summery collection, some really gorgeous colors in this collection. I'm a little confused with the fact that there's kind of 3 types of oranges or colors that are in that orange family. But having said that, you have 3 different oranges for different skin types too, right? I absolutely love the pink color. That is a really nice, happy, summery color. So is the yellow. I just wouldn't get a lot of use out of yellow unless it was for art. The blue, I don't know. I just don't consider this type of a blue summer. I would think it's more spring. Maybe I'm off my rocker. I don't know. But I have to remember, I can't only think of the paints as a collection for full coverage on the nails. I have to remember that these are great for art, so I can't be stuck in that mindset that a collection should be more well-rounded when the product itself is used in a variety of ways. So tell me what you think of these two collections. These have been out for a while now, so have you picked up these collections at all? Have you picked up a few colors? Comment down below, let me know. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you all in the next video. Bye guys!